You know, folks, for the past few years, my end of the year rant is a series of predictions guessing what form of politically correct insanity will come into being in the upcoming calendar year to follow. In the spirit of over-the-top satire a la The Onion, I strive to be as ludicrous as possible. Here are a couple of my dumbass politically correct predictions that were posted last New Year's Eve. Number one, the terms Great White Shark and Great White North will be relegated to the scrap heap of inappropriate language, given that when the words great and white are used as part of the same descriptor, that might be deemed by some as Caucasian exceptionalism, and we can't have that. Number two, the terms scalping and scalper in regard to those who sell tickets to sold-out sports matches and music concerts will no longer be tolerated due to potential offense experienced by those who make up the First Nations, Aboriginal, Indigenous, Native community. Moving forward, the politically correct term for scalper will now be ticket reseller professional. Yeah, it's all meant to be for laughs, but I'm thinking of retiring this segment. You see, it's dawning on me that you really can't out-crazy the crazies who comprise the far left these days. For example, one of the ludicrous predictions I dreamed up a few months ago for this year's list was that mariners would stop referring to ships as she and her, as they've been doing now for, centuries, as these pronouns are not gender neutral. But alas, those serving aboard the SS Insane Asylum have already beaten me to the punch. That's because the Scottish Maritime Museum is now degendering references to ships in order to be, gender neutral. Oh, and what prompted this whiz-bang decision? Well, some vandals defaced a sign that made use of the pronouns she and her. Wouldn't the appropriate response be to check security footage and call the police and lay charges and then sue these thugs for damages? Nope, because the museum has actually decided to reward criminal behavior by acquiescing to the vandals' demands. It's not being well received, mind you. A story in RT.com notes that a retired senior British Royal Navy Admiral, Alan West, rightfully notes that conceding to pressure groups is a very dangerous road to go down, and that degendering ships is yet another example of political correctness gone mad. But David Mann, director of the Maritime Museum, says they nevertheless plan on phasing the new gender-neutral signage in. It's all about recognizing the changes in society and gender interpretation, despite the fact that the universally adopted maritime tradition is to refer to vessels with the female pronoun. Oh, you know, folks, just to be consistent here, I wonder if Mr. Mann will be legally changing his surname in the near future, to be gender neutral. In any event, despite the outcry from many in the Royal Navy as far as the Scottish Maritime Museum is concerned, this gender-neutral ship has sailed, mateys. So don't you dare refer to a ship as she anymore. Rather it's Z or Zir or Zay or Bababue. And to think this wimpishness is occurring in Scotland, home to the Glasgow shipyards along the River Clyde, where some of the greatest ships to ever sail the seven seas were built. Oh, well, it was nice knowing you, lads, or lassies, or whatever. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, the Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you travel.